Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this regular call board meeting, November 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the Estill County Board of Education Boardroom located on 253 Main Street in Irving, Kentucky. At this time, I would like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone, and we always start by saying our pledge. And if I have some young boys and girls that would like to come up and lead us with our Pledge of Allegiance, that would be wonderful. Miss Miller, do
you can bring your parents with you.
You can come. Yeah, come.
Yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Thank you, boys and girls, so much for helping lead us in the pledge. There is a sign-in sheet as you come into the entrance of the boardroom. I'd like to remind everyone to sign in. Mr. Brock, do we have any revisions to this agenda?
We do. We need to remove item 4, the swearing in of new SRO officers. We'll do that in December. We have officially sworn in our new SRO officers, but we would like them to have the opportunity to come before the board and just kind of as a ceremony and presentation. We'll do that in December.
Okay, perfect. So next on our agenda, we have our school and student presentations. Mr. Brock, would you like to start us out with that?
We've got presentations tonight from all of our schools. We just kind of rotate through. And so if you all want to come up and get your presentation started, I don't want to take anything away from them. I know that they've got, Ms. Miller has something planned for us with her kids, so I think we were testing for it too.
Well, while we get started, Mr. Simpson's going to pull up our presentation, but we have 3 of our committees here with us to share some of the things that we have going on in our school. So we have a kindness committee, we have a safety committee, and we have our student advisory committee, and they are all here to share just a little bit about what they do to make our school a better place. So we will go ahead and start with our kindness committee, and I'll have Ms. Kennedy give us a start.
Hello, I'm Kennedy, and I'm a part of the Kindness Committee. Our job is to spread kindness throughout the school and help everyone feel welcome. One of the first things we do is greet new students when they join our school. We give them swag bags with supplies and fun items, and we also give them a tour of the school so they feel comfortable.
Hello, I am Mackenzie Arvin, and in Kindness Club, you be kind and don't bully.
A better place. I don't know what to find. I don't know how to read. Happy.
Happy.
It makes you happy to spread kindness to others. So what do you think? Okay, so that was our kindness committee, or a few representatives from it at least. And next we have a representative from our safety committee.
Hi, I'm Alan, and I'm a part of the Safety Committee. Our committee's job is to make sure our school is a safe environment for everyone. One of the things we do is check all of the doors every hour to make sure they're locked and secure. And we also check for water leaks.
Hello, my name's Emma Miller, and I'm a part of the Student Advisory Committee. We represent the student body and share feedback with our school leaders. One of the things we do is help plan school events like the Veterans Day program and the Fall Carnival.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Osborne. Our committee works closely with Ms. Courtney and Ms. Young to organize these events and make sure they're fun and meaningful for all students. We also talk about issues that matter to students and share ideas to make our school better.
Being on the advisory committee is a great way to have voice in what happens at our school.
We're proud to represent our classmates and make a positive impact on West Irvin Elementary.
Okay, so these three committees are just a small way of how we are empowering our students to take ownership of our school and make it a great place for our staff and students. Thank you all. You did a great job.
Cute.
Ms. Miller, was there anything else?
I didn't realize you got slides. You didn't tell me to progress it. So.
Okay.
Emma winked and he didn't catch it.
Once again, Mr. Simpson's fault.
I thought she was going to say, okay, Mr. Simpson, go ahead and our apologies to the West Irvin.
So at this time, we'll move on with the rest of our business meeting. If anyone needs to leave from the school presentations, you're welcome to leave at this time.
You're also welcome to stay.
You're welcome to stay also, yes.
It's the first time I've ever seen them kids since Elizabeth. Gina Davis's grandkids. Them two. That's the first time I've
You
ever
did a
seen them.
great job. Good job.
You did good, sweetheart.
You all were fabulous. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you,
I love it. I love his boots, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
He speaks Spanish.
Man, you didn't make it after my own heart right there.
Thank you. Okay, so that brings us to our action items that are on our agenda. And first, we have consideration for approval of the development of guaranteed energy savings with a contract with Performance Services. Mr. Brock.
So we've got Performance Services with us here tonight. They're going to do a short presentation. What a guaranteed energy savings contract is, and they'll go through that, I'm sure. It's a way for the district to save money year after year by becoming more energy and efficient. They reached out to me back in the summer. We finally got to meet. They presented some findings that they could potentially save the district money over time. And so we asked them to come present to the board tonight on where we could find those savings for the district and really just be good stewards with our money. So if you all want to take over and have your presentation time now.
Thank you, Mr. Barak. Thank you for the introduction. My name's David Dowdell. I'm the Business Development Manager for Performance Services in Kentucky. And with me here today is Bart Sturm, our Project Development Engineer. He's the brains behind the operation. So as Mr. Brock said, a Guaranteed Energy Savings Contract, or GESC, you'll see that acronym a lot in the presentation, allows the district to redirect money you're already spending on utility costs, and through that savings, you get to fund improvements to your school district. So some of the other benefits is, because that savings is guaranteed by a company like Performance Services, to the district, and you get the bond against that savings. So it actually adds bond capacity to the current bond capacity that you have in the district. So I know there's a lot of things planned, improvements in the district, and you're trying to preserve what bond capacity you have for those improvements. So this will not take any of that bond capacity. In fact, it'll add bond capacity when we fund it with the savings. Generally, for every dollar that we guarantee in savings, the district will receive $20 in funding because these are bonded over a 20-year term. We also guarantee no change orders. So once we develop this and come back with the final costs and savings, if the board approves the contract at that time, we will not come back to you later if we miss something. So that's on us. So we are a price contract approved vendor through the cooperatives. And so that allows open, transparent approach. All the percentages are prearranged through the cooperatives. And then in addition to the savings, we guarantee ongoing support. If we do anything with the HVAC system, which we're not contemplating that currently, but we guarantee comfort standards as well. So one of the first things we did when we evaluated the savings opportunities here is we took a look at the baseline usage of the district. And quite frankly, the district's doing a really good job on energy efficiency. There's not what I would call a lot of low-hanging fruit in the district. The EUI, or Energy Use Index, is quite low compared to a lot of districts that we see. So when we met, we felt like maybe the best opportunity for some savings and to drive savings might be to do something like add solar. And one of the advantages of solar right now is that with the Inflation Reduction Act, for the first time for nonprofits and governmental entities, they're called investment tax credits, or ITCs, but it acts like a rebate. So just on the initial analysis that we did, it appears that Estill could qualify for not only the 30% base rebate, but a couple of the bonus categories as well. And with the tax exempt funding, it would fund nearly half of the project in rebates at this time. And that photo there is an installation we did for Fairview Independent on their middle school wing. So what really makes a good payback for solar is if you're paying really high electric rates. And so what we did is we evaluated the electric rates at all your buildings, and there were two buildings that stood out that looked like really good candidates for solar. And they're the high school, which is served by Jackson Energy, and West Urban Elementary School. And as you can see in about the fifth column there, the high school pays over 12 cents a kilowatt hour, and the elementary school, it's over 10 cents. And generally, if you're above 8 cents, the payback's pretty good on solar. So just a summary of the savings that we found. If we can install the solar as we projected on both those buildings, the district could save on average $108,000 in electricity costs. That represents about a 32% reduction. That would fund about $1.5 million worth of improvements in the district. That, on top of the approximately $800,000 in tax credits the district would receive, would result in approximately $2.3 million of improvements to the district. And really, you're not going to be spending anything more than what you're spending today. A summary of the solar itself, the two pictures show the two buildings, and we've superimposed approximately what the panel installation would look like on the roof. And we're obviously limited by roof space. So if we are able to follow through with the installation like we've projected here, it would offset about 36% of the usage of these buildings. And even after the bond payment, we're projecting that the district could save almost $20,000 a year net savings each year. So that's a total of $340,000 over, actually nearly $400,000 over 20 years. And if you project it out over 30 years after the bond's retired, the net savings is over $1.7 million. So you can see the significant savings that the district would receive, especially after year 20. There's really no maintenance on these. There's no moving parts. Average lifespan of these systems is 30 to 40 years. It provides predictable energy costs for that portion of the electricity that we're providing through solar as well. So as far as where we go from here, if the board approves moving forward with developing one of these guaranteed energy savings contracts at this point, we would notify KDE, and then we would begin our detailed engineering and development of the project. We would bid everything out, and once we have the results of those bids, we would bring those results back to the district and the board for approval in a draft contract. And it generally takes 2 to 3 months to get through that process, maybe a little longer with the holidays. So sometime around the end of first quarter next year, we should have all that information back and ready to present to the board for evaluation and approval. If the board approves it at that time, we would begin implementation. We would mobilize and then hopefully be able to do the install sometime in the summer. And that lays out some of the details of the steps. And these are some of the other districts that we've worked with here in Kentucky. The ones with suns on them, Covington Independent, Fairview, you saw a picture earlier, and then Berea Independent, we're installing some solar as well, which is where Mr. Brock worked previously. And that's the brief overview. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
So in our meeting before, I just want to clarify, and then so that the board understands too, we're not committing to any money whatsoever tonight. You all are going to go do the bidding, do the proposal. You'll bring it back to the board, and you'll say, this is exactly what the project's going to be. This is how much it saves you a year. And then at that time, if we decide to move forward, then that's when we would sign a contract, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's, this is a proposal so that they can go and see how much they could actually save the district and bring that back to us. We're not committing to any kind of monetary commitment tonight. So it's my recommendation that we approve the consideration for the development of guaranteed energy saving contract with Performance Services.
With that being said, I need a motion for approval of the development of the GESC contract with Performance Services. Tammy Hardy makes a motion. Do I have a second? Sheila Samples makes a second. Do we have any discussion or any questions? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 4-0 vote. Thank you. Next, we have consideration for approval of the letter of intent for guaranteed energy savings contract.
So this is just part of the process. It's a letter of intent that we would send to KDE to let them know that we are exploring this option for our district. It's my recommendation that we improve the letter of intent.
Okay, I need a motion for approval of the letter of intent as discussed. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion or any questions? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 4-0 vote to move forward with the letter. Next, item C is consideration for approval of the following MOAs. Interagency agreement of South Central Head Start.
So every year we've had an agreement and a partnership with them. You all remember last year they wanted to change that agreement some with the staffing. I would not bring that to the board because it wasn't beneficial to the district at that time. Ms. Hall and I have continued to meet with them, and they have now brought us a contract which is very similar to the first one we signed. It does not require the additional staffing, and so it's my recommendation we approve the MOA.
Okay. I need a motion for approval of the MOA with the South Central Head Start program. Sheila Samples makes a motion. Do I have a second? Tammy Hardy makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries with a 4-0 vote. And if you guys need to leave, you're welcome. Are you finished?
We are.
Yeah.
we may slip out.
If
Yep.
you want,
You're more
yeah.
than welcome to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll be
but
in
you can
touch.
stay too.
It's going pretty fast.
We run a pretty smooth one.
Yeah, we'll probably, thank you.
Thank you.
Item D on our agenda is consideration for approval of the first CATS offer for FY '25. Mr. Brock.
Yeah, this is just our technology, our CATS offers. We get it every year. We have to approve it. It's my recommendation we approve.
I need a motion for approval. Sheila Samples makes a motion, Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote. Next, we have consideration for approval of occupational therapist contract. Mr. Brock.
Again, this is a contract we enter into that provides services for our students, occupational therapy. We approve these every year. It's my recommendation that we approve the occupational therapist contract.
At this time, I need a motion for approval of the OT contract. Tammy Hardy makes a motion, Carrie Smallwood makes a second. Do we have any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote. Next, it brings us down to our consent items. Mr. Brock.
So it's just the approval of the minutes. We had several special called because of the engineering and construction management, and then the treasurer's report because of paying bills, and then superintendent's travel. It's my recommendation we approve the consent items.
I need a motion to approve the consent items as discussed. Carrie Smallwood makes a motion. Do I have a second? Tammy Hardy makes a second. Do we have any discussion, any questions? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries with a 4-0 vote. That brings us down to our superintendent report. Mr. Brock, give us an update.
Okay, so last year at this time, we was sitting at 91.7% attendance. We're sitting at 92.41 for this year. I think this week was the only week, or was it last week that we didn't meet our goal? Last week was the first week all year we hadn't met our goal, even with sickness and stuff that's going on. So that's improved this year. Mr. Norton's doing a really, really good job. Our enrollment is up from last year. Last year we had 22, this year we have 2212. At this time last year we had 2203, but that includes preschool. If you don't include preschool, we're up about 10 kids. Last Friday, we had a visit from Commissioner Fletcher. He was at every school in the district. He was very complimentary to what's going on academically and the opportunities we're providing kids in our county. Each school, we just kind of took him to each school and dropped him off, and each school had a different thing for him to see. Mr. Cornett and I and Miss Williams and Miss O'Brien, we just kind of let him go talk to kids, and he'd get right down the floor and teach math with them. One school had kids escort him around. The middle school, he made Miss Halcomb a little bit nervous because she tried to move him on from a class because we was a little bit behind schedule, and he told her he was the boss. He would stay and talk to kids if he wanted to. He was just kind of kidding, but she didn't know how to take it. But it was a good visit, and it got an opportunity to highlight some of the good things that are going on in our district. So
I'm not surprised Tasha got in trouble.
well, it is what it is. As far as personnel, we have a position posted currently at Estill Springs Elementary. We are looking for a teacher there. So if anybody knows second grade, so if anybody is interested, you can apply online. I did talk to EKU today during my meeting. I think they have several graduating in December, and I'm going to get a full list of those names spoken this week. So good things going on in our district as far as opportunities for kids, and just proud of the work that has been done and that continues. So principals reports. Who wants to start? Ms. Miller? Yeah.
So So each board meeting, we have update from our principals, and I think West Irvin is going to start us off with Miss Miller.
So we have had a big month at West Irvin. We've had a lot of celebrations. A lot of our students have been working really hard on their iReady pathways. In our classrooms, when we have 100 100s, we celebrate. So we've had a lot of those celebrations. We've also just finished our iReady growth monitoring, which has given us our third data point so that we can more precisely look at our students and where they're projected to be in the spring. So that's been a great thing for us. We have had our fall carnival and our Halloween celebrations in the last month. Right here in the middle of this screen, you can see we have some exceptional students in Ms. Tari's FMD class, and they had a service project. They created a coffee bar for our staff. They took orders, they delivered it to us, and it was the best day ever. We really enjoyed that, so they're a great group of kids. We also had our Veterans Day program, which our students helped to set up, and they greeted, and it was a first for us. We had a lot of great memories, and we really enjoyed being able to honor our veterans. We finished our readathon, and students who read 400 minutes were rewarded with a piece of tape to try to get me taped to the wall. It worked. I didn't think it was going to work. It was a bit of an ego hit because the first few pieces of tape didn't go around me, but we got over that and we got bigger tape, and then it started working fine. So that was intense for a few minutes. But above all else, we've done a lot of learning and a lot of growing, and I'm really excited about the work that our teachers and students are doing. I can't wait to see the growth that we make this year.
Thank you, Miss Miller. Next, we have Miss Cassidy Moore. And
Right. At the Success Academy, I went back a little bit because I didn't get to tell you all about our favorite day that we've had so far at Success Academy, and that was the day that we did the KSA testing parade. So when we did that, we got to take the kids, we let them stay after school, and we went to El Ranchito and went and ate, and then they got to come to a board meeting and go to the parade as well. But the main part of that was that Waylon got to meet his celebrity board member, Miss Sheila Samples. That was his favorite board member of all time, so he was super excited about that. During October, we had pumpkin painting with our kids. Miss Barnett upstairs and Miss Sutter from the high school come, and they did pumpkin painting, and the kids loved that. We are continuing to work with our visual and performing arts program to try to incorporate that into our school. So the art wall that you have when you walk in, Miss Cornett was gracious enough to let my kids help with that, and they got to paint the boards that the other kids' artists clipped on, so they were really excited about that. And then we also got to go to the theater performance today, and they had a wonderful time. We also got to go to Thanksgiving dinner with Mr. Yost at the high school, and I think that we've decided we're going to start making that a weekly thing to allow our kids to be able to go to the high school and eat lunch once a week. So I think that'll be good for them. So that's our highlights.
thank you, Miss
And
Moore.
if you've not seen the wonderful art wall we have out here in the hall, there are additions now. There are QR codes where you can scan the QR code and see video of band performance, choir, and I think there's even part of the performance of Everybody Gets Eaten by Sharks out there. So.
Next, we have Miss Mullins representing Estill Springs
That's
Elementary.
green in here.
Thank you all, as always, for allowing us an opportunity to talk about the good things going on in our school. I kind of wrapped up a little bit about the highlights from October and November. We did enjoy welcoming Commissioner Fletcher into our building last week. Our student representatives, Corbin and Corbin, did a great job showing him around, and we do look forward to him returning to visit. We did showcase some of our 3D printing. No one can steal Mr. Matthew from me because he is amazing. And he's doing amazing things in that classroom. It's really interesting to see how he is pushing these students not only outside of their comfort zones and raising little entrepreneurs, but they're teaching us, and they've been allowed to have a space to do that. This is my official request for 2 additional 3D printers. Commissioner Fletcher told me to ask you for that, Jeremy. That was from him. I thought I would ask tonight while it's on record. You're welcome, Robbie Fletcher. I tried. We also had a unique opportunity. I will talk a little bit about the KSA Celebration Parade at the bottom. We've done a lot of celebrating at Springs. Along with celebration, though, comes great, what's the word I'm looking for? We feel the need to continue to improve. I guess that's what I want to say. You know, the thing about reaching goals in education and in a lot of things is that reaching a goal means that you just have a further desire to maintain and improve. So we've spent some time celebrating, but it's back to boots on the ground because there's a lot of work to be done. We did go ahead and we shifted our family teacher conferences that were originally scheduled for the night of the parade, but it ended up being a huge blessing that we moved them because we combined it with our family learning night. And sorry, Jeremy, I'm like keeping you on your toes. Go to the left. To the left, to the left. Okay. We took an opportunity to combine those two events, and it was a huge success. And I think that we'll probably always do it that way because there are parents whose kids insist that they come to family learning nights that may not have in the past always been ones to show up for a conference. So it was kind of like, we also served homemade chicken noodle soup out of the cafeteria that night. So it was just a blessing all the way around. So that was a great situation that we really just maximized on. So we were thankful for that. At the top, to the right, this was our first year to welcome back lunch with loved ones. Our families have not been in our building since pre-COVID for a dinner. We have one a month. So we went through 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade is December the 11th. It's been a huge hit, and breaking it up that way has allowed for a little extended lunch and some extra time for our families, but that has been just a joy to welcome them back in to our building and to have some of our wonderful food. Our cafeteria heroes are just amazing, and the food that they provide, I mean, everyone looks forward to a bowl of chili or vegetable soup or a chicken noodle soup from the school, so we've been thankful for that. We're continuing to celebrate iGrowth celebrations, the iReady Grow celebrations. We appreciate our community for coming out for our trunk or treat. And just 3 things that I wanted to mention that I couldn't fit on here today. Estill Springs Chorus and West Urban Chorus have combined efforts and are practicing every Tuesday and Thursday together after school for a Christmas program. And that's been really exciting. I bus my kids to West Urban on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm really excited to see that combined event. And I think it goes back to being that we are all engineers, and this is allowing those students an opportunity to go ahead and get to know each other and forge relationships and friendships. And so I'm really excited. Ms. Burrows and Ms. Smith, our music teachers, have really taken this themselves. This did not come from Ms. Miller and I. The music teachers, along with Ms. Cornett, have really fostered that relationship, and I'm excited. We'll be sure to keep you posted on their performance. We do have Region Cheer upcoming next Saturday. Our cheerleaders will be competing in Breathitt County, so we're excited about that. And last, I wanted to mention that we had our first annual honor walk for our veterans, which was a huge success. I don't have pictures of that, Jeremy. I know you're searching. Our honor walk, we invited our veterans in for an opportunity for them to walk through our building to our students and our staff, giving them a lot of appreciation. We had a gift for them at the end. And that was just a really special moment because they didn't have to do anything or say anything. They were able to receive all of that thanks. I will tell you, I have a special kindergartner whom we worked with all day and practiced saying thank you, thank you, thank you, what he was going to say to the veterans. And when the veterans walked through, he said trick or treat. So that was a highlight of the Veterans Honor Walk. But it's been a great 2 months at Estill Springs. And as always, thank you for letting us come share.
Next on deck, we have Miss Tasha Halcomb from the Estill County Middle School.
I will say that Dr. Fletcher enjoyed the science class that he went into. He was a middle school science teacher, so he just jumped right in and pretty much took over the class and was teaching. So we really did appreciate him, and you all setting that up for him to come out and see our middle school. We have a lot of new opportunities at the middle school that I kind of want to highlight and showcase tonight. The Paxton Labs have came in for Mr. Dixon's class. Those are in and set up. He'll start his training here right after Thanksgiving break, and the kids will go ahead and get started on those labs. There's 6 different labs. There's a nursing, sports medicine, digital manufacturing, small engines, early child development, home maintenance systems, and that's where they'll learn electrical and plumbing. So we are really excited about all of this. The kids, they have asked about it, so they've kind of got to go back and explore and kind of talk about the new things that they're going to get to do and everything. So they're very excited. Now, the amount of requests that I've had for kids to go into that classroom is a little bit overwhelming. All 440 of them would like a class change. So they are very excited. Miss Wilson's class has been in the cooking lab this week. They've cooked spaghetti, pumpkin pancakes, and tomorrow is they're baking cookies. So far, everything that I have been privileged to taste has been pretty good. So I'm very proud of them. They are learning. Miss Miller's FFA is doing a tremendous job. We had 4 students chosen out of 300 for SAE grants of $500 each. So that's a big opportunity for our kids to get involved. Another award that they got this week was 6th graders win the Farm to School Challenge totaling $330. And that's a gift card that they get to use to go to Lowe's and buy plants and soil and all kinds of stuff. All the stuff that they know that Ms. Halcom's allergic to, so they are excited about that because I come in there and then I leave with my eyes swollen. So they pretty much like to make fun of me when I go into the ag room. Mr. Thomas's Wild Clubs, we had our first kids go and compete and present in Louisville. We won Best New Delegation, and then Evie Riddle won Outstanding Delegate. So our kids are doing tremendous things at the middle school, and I wanted to showcase that stuff before we talked about the growth that we're seeing in math and ELA, because our kids are experiencing lots of new opportunities, and I'm so proud of them and our staff members for going out and finding these new opportunities to give to our students. You can see there at the bottom, there's just a few of the office referrals, positive office referrals. These are for any students who scored 20 points or higher on their growth monitoring check this month. So they went up 20 points in either math, ELA, or both. And this is just a few of those pictures. We've had several kids. Their favorite thing they told me is getting their name announced over the intercom. So that has just been something that we've been doing and that the kids really enjoy. On the next page is just the upcoming events at our middle school. We would like to invite you all out to those, especially our Christmas festival, which is going to be December the 7th from 6 to 8. It's going to be a silent auction, live auction, carnivals, pictures with Santa Claus, concessions, just a fundraiser for our students so that we can continue providing opportunities for them. So please come out and join us. Come visit us anytime. We would love to have you. There's great things happening at the middle school, and I am so proud of the students and the staff.
Next we have thank you, Ms. Halcom. Next we have Mr. Joshua Yost from the Estill County High School.
Real quick, those kids that won that $500 for those SAEs, what that means is they have a supervised agricultural experience, like a small business or something they're going to do. That $500 goes to their experience. They get that $500 to start their business or their agricultural project. So it was money directly in their pockets to start those. So.
All right, thank you all for having us again. I've got the handout there for you all. I'm not going to read everything, but one of the big themes for us over the last month at the high school has been outreach, engaging with the community, bringing them in, doing all kinds of exciting things. The marching band, of course, won their state title of Class 2A this year, but coming back home, and I think the community performance that week, it was my son Zachary is eat up with band right now. He plays the trumpet and he loves it. But when he came back, he just looked at me and said, "Dad," he said, "they packed the stands for a band competition on a weeknight, or for a band performance on a weeknight." And I just said, "Buddy," I said, "that's how it is here." And just the community coming out to support the marching engineers, it was tremendous to see. Our FBLA students under Miss Jenna Smith, who is a first-year teacher, is doing such a wonderful job. Putting on Trick or Trot, bringing it back to ECHS this year. Mike Wazowski even made an appearance, but we had a lot of good time there at the high school with that. Our Veterans Day program, we did it a little different this year. We actually had a school-wide program, got to bring Miss Halcom's middle school crew down as well. So we had over 1,000 students in the gym for our Veterans Day program. And Miss Manus and the SCCLA crew who put that on did a tremendous job, again, bringing people in. Tomorrow night, we've got after school at 4:30, the first community performance. Everyone Gets Eaten by Sharks, our Blue Train Theater production. And that'll be followed up with Excite Night for basketball for boys and girls from 6 to 9. So it's a great night to come out and celebrate the arts and celebrate our athletics programs. Tomorrow you can come out at 4:30 and stay straight through till 9 o'clock. And I heard there'll be some pretty good concessions too if you need some dinner, so come on out. Our FFA officers got to attend the National FFA Conference in Indianapolis back in October. First time in a very, very long time we've gone to national conference. So Miss Denny and Mr. Miller are doing a great job working with that program. Speaking of our CTE programs, we got a really exciting opportunity for our students. We had ordered a banner printer. When Ms. Smith came on, she said, let's look at some things. How can we do some things for the community that are maybe gaps that we have? Nobody in Estill County was really printing banners. So if you wanted a banner, you had to order it on, like when Mr. Benton does pictures, you had to order them online, or you had to go over to Louisville or Richmond or Lexington to get them printed. Now we have a banner printer downstairs in the high school where Ms. Smith and her crew are going to be able to actually print off banners. They've already started working on that. So as she transitions next year to the management and entrepreneurship pathway to give our students more opportunities to actually develop their sense of entrepreneurship and create a full-fledged school-based enterprise, that's the first step for that. So it's another great opportunity for our students, and the kids are having a field day going down there and getting to start exploring using Adobe Illustrator and working with those programs. I'd like to give you all our post-secondary readiness update. We're sitting now before Christmas, and I want to stress this is before Christmas, which is mind-blowing to me. 83% post-secondary readiness for our senior class overall. We only have 25 kids left that we have to get to post-secondary readiness. And with industry certs, EOPs, and the absolutely amazing job that our teachers are doing on coyote testing to get kids to academic readiness benchmarks, we're well ahead of last year's pace, and I'm confident we're going to surpass last year's numbers, and we might even get to where Mr. Brock begged me to get to. So,
100%.
We're pushing. We're pushing hard. And no, when Mr. Fletcher came to the high school, even though I was getting looks through the door, I did not make him move on because he was having a great time talking to the kids. And it was really good, though, because the students are still talking about it that were in that classroom because Mr. Fletcher pulled up his relative who was the picture of his relative with the war on poverty back when LBJ was president. And he was actually one of his relatives that was on the front porch in that famous picture. And the kids were just in awe. And one of the kids said, when's Mr. Fletcher coming back? And I said, he has to go to all the other districts. But he said, it was awesome because he's a state commissioner and he comes from somewhere like us. And it was awesome for him to connect with students that way. And it was a really good experience for our students. Just a couple other things. Our academic team, I want to highlight them. They are 13-0 this fall in league play. They are having a tremendous season with Ms. Tipton and Mr. Brock coaching them. And then we mentioned this before, but December 14th is going to be a really cool experience. Boys basketball team, there's a typo on your paper. It's actually 11:30 a.m. I'm sorry on that. But they'll be taking on Newton Falls, Ohio at the historic Hoosier Gym up in Indiana, famous from the movie. So it's going to be a great time. There's a lot of great things going on at Estill County High School. Our 9th and 10th graders are growing in IXL and reading and math. 11th grade's finishing up their diagnostics tomorrow, so I'll know their data after tomorrow. But thank you all again for the opportunity to talk to you all and about the awesome things that are going on at the high school.
Next, I think Miss Hall is in the back hiding.
So the first thing on that flyer is enrollment. Those are our numbers right now. 137 preschool students, 16 early Head Start children, and we recruit and screen every Friday. That next picture, it's not actually toddler time. I changed the picture but forgot to change the words. That's from tonight. We had our Thanksgiving meal, and that's how one of our children showed up for that Thanksgiving meal, and he didn't want to take that off. We did have 108 people when I left this evening that had been through the line for the Thanksgiving meal, and that's thankful to the partnership that we have with Head Start, and that's what you guys approved tonight. Then that next picture shows you a little bit of how our children learn. We teach in units. So we have finished just a back-to-school unit. That was our first unit. We've had a trees unit, a clothing unit, and a buildings unit. So that's the preschool style of graphic organizers. And underneath of that picture is, during the clothing unit, we had some firemen come in and they had built on they let the kids try on some of the clothing that they would use for their uniforms. So to the left of that picture, that's a picture of our family fun nights. We've had two. We had the Touch a Truck, which was a big hit. We actually had a helicopter come in this year. That was different. And then to the left is a picture of the bookmobile. So that is something that happens every other Thursday. All the kids get to go on that bookmobile, and they can fit the whole class on there. It's amazing how many tiny bodies can fit in a small spot.
It's not on there, but they also had a reading event where we got to go read to preschoolers, and I forgot my reading glasses that day. And so I had my book way out here, and the kids were like, "Why are you holding the book way out there?" I'm like, "So you all can see it better, that's why." So, but great things going on there as well.
They will ask us anything. They'll ask you anything. And I think Success Academy is coming to us next month. So that'll be fun. We'll tell you about that.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Mr. Brock, do you have anything to add to the principal's report?
I don't. I'm proud of the work that's going on in our buildings and the opportunities we're providing kids, the academic growth that's happening. And I know we focus on that a lot because it is important, the academic opportunities that we are providing kids. But like the choir concerts that are going to happen between both elementary schools, the choir concert that we've already had, the band performance he mentioned. We did have a drama performance, and we had a small one last year as well, but we've added to that, and we're going to have a musical this spring. And just all of those opportunities that we've been able to provide and invest in kids is I'm the most proud of, because that's why we do what we do, and that's what it's about. It's about our students, and I love that they connected with Commissioner Fletcher. He is from Martin County, and like, hey, he's just like us. He's from where we're from, and he is. So we provide those opportunities so that we equip them that one day they can dream big and achieve those dreams. So.
Okay. Next, we have our board member forum. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share or any comments?
I just want to thank Ms. Hall for inviting us for the meal tonight. It was very good.
Some of us work late and we're not able to do some of those things sometimes. I'm trying to take care of all the sick people to keep attendance up.
Yeah, we want to keep attendance up.
Do we have any public comments, Mr. Simpson?
I'll say on that, I mean, we've got people watching, we've got people here. If you ever have any concerns or anything that goes on, please reach out, please call, come by. I'm more than willing to sit down with anybody at any time, and we can talk about whatever it is that you may have that's a concern. So.
And the best way to reach you is just contact the board office, and the secretary will put you in touch.
Yeah. I'm not in my office a lot because I spend a lot of time in schools, but I will get back with you, and we can sit down.
Okay, with that being said, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Spend time with your family. We are thankful for you all and all the things that are going on in our district, and just God bless each and every one of you all during the holiday time. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn. Shayla Samples makes a motion, and Tammy Hardy makes a second, and all in favor? This meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you all for coming.